welcome back. I am Nicole and this is my channel, Letting It Be So. I am back today with another Friday Sews episode to catch you up on this week in terms of what I've been making. Been quite productive since the last time I recorded one of these. So yeah, I have a few finished or almost finished makes to share with you. And yeah, let's just dive straight in, shall we? Kicking things off with what I'm wearing. So this is a recently finished make. This is the Soho 7 table top or t-shirt. So it is in this really lovely viscose jersey that I got from So. I tend to make the short sleeve version of this. There's a couple of different sleeve options with this pattern. There's also a couple of different neckband options, and I think there's a few different options of like how the bottom hemline works as well. So I make the one with the sleeve tabs, which technically you are meant to like fold up like that, but I don't, but I could if I wanted to, or I could, you know, fold them up and tuck them down. But yeah, I really like this for viscose jersey. I really like how the if you can see the neckband is like overlapped. It's a bit hard to tell in this busy print fabric, but yeah, I really like how the neckband goes into this, and yeah, it's one of my favourites for a nice drapey viscose jersey. I'll put in some proper pictures so you can see the whole thing, because it's got a curved hem, so it's quite long. So you know, you can wear it loose or tucked in. But yeah, I really like this, and yeah, it's just one of my go-tos in terms of jersey sewing. Okay, let's get started then in terms of some of the other things that I've finished making. So obviously last week I was talking about the mini making backpack that I was working on, that I was so close to finishing. So after I had filmed that episode, I then had to do the task of putting in the bias binding, which I like sewed in on one side with my machine, and then following the advice in Lauren's video about that project, I then folded it over and stitched the other side down by hand, just because yeah, that gave a nicer finish when I made the bag the last time. But it was quite tough on the hands. Like really, I don't own a thimble. Does that make me a bad sewer if I don't own a thimble? But yeah, because there was quite a lot of layers of fabric to get through at some points, it was quite a stretch. So so yeah, it was quite tough on the old hands, but worth it for the finish. So let me get the bag. Here she is. So I made, this is the mini size of the backpack, so there's also a regular size. I made the mini size. So you can see it's about, well, it's about A4 size, which is the reason why I picked this, because I want it for my football bag. So I made the version with the alternative pocket. So this is a pocket here. You've got that slight flap that covers up the zip, and this is like a pleated pocket. So you've got a little bit of extra wiggle room in there. So yeah, I've got some webbing for the handles. It's got the webbing on the back as well for the straps. And then on the inside, so I've got one big main zip compartment, and if I just undo it, you can see, I showed it last time, but yeah, you've got the inner zip pocket there, and I'll just see if I can show you. So this is what my binding looks like. So I just picked some random fabric because I thought that was kind of fun. I wasn't worried about matching it, and I think probably my eyes would have gone funny if I'd used the same quilting cotton to bind it. I think I would have found that difficult. So yeah, it's all bound, and yeah, it's quite it's pretty roomy in here. There was a few suggestions for some other pockets you could make, like another inside pocket, but I've just gone for the one. But yeah, let's do this back up again, shall we? But yeah, I am super pleased with this. It's not perfect. There is some wobbly top stitching, but give it a side view there. Yeah, there is some wobbly top stitching, but you know, in the grand scheme of things, you know, no one's going to be looking that closely, so it's fine. Yeah, really pleased with how it's come together. You know, it was a good couple of days. You know, if I had been completely uninterrupted, probably 2 days sewing is sufficient, but I obviously was doing it a little bit more split up than that when I had the time. Yeah, I really like the extra bits that Lauren's video gives you, in terms of, particularly in terms of how you finish off the handles. I think that's really cool, rather than having more like this, where you've got like where you've sewn down the webbing exposed. Yeah, really happy with it, and all completed ahead of schedule. So like I said, this is going to be my bag for going to football, because in the UK, most big football stadiums, certainly the one for my team, which is Tottenham Hotspur, you can only take in a bag which is like A4 size basically to the stadium, because, you know, reasons. So yeah, it will meet those requirements, and yeah, it will get its first outing on Sunday. So I'm going to the football with my brother. Him and my dad have season tickets, but my parents, my dad can't make it, so I get his ticket, and it's a big game. For those of you who are not football people, it's what we call the North London Derby against our like big rivals. So it's a big game. Yeah, quite stressful, but the bag will be getting its outing, and hopefully, so that's on Sunday. So hopefully next week I will be able to share some pictures of it in action, and maybe the happy kingfishers will bring us some good fortune for the game. I really like this. Was someone commented on it when I sent them a photo of it. They liked the placement of the kingfisher here. That was entirely fortuitous. It was not planned, but it looks planned, doesn't it? So yeah, fortuitous cutting on my part. Yeah, I didn't really think about that, particularly when I was placing my pattern pieces. I only had half a meter of the fabric, which is, so the outer fabric is some water resistant canvas from Country Cow Designs, and yeah, I only had half a meter, so you know, there wasn't too much option. Like, I still have a little bit. I still probably have enough to make maybe a little pouch or something out of it, but yeah, I didn't really plan my pattern pieces particularly. It was just fortuitous that, yeah, this little guy has just ended up right between the two handles. Yeah, so I really enjoyed this. Potentially I might be making another one quite soon, because I sent my mum a photo of it, and then I spoke to her on the weekend. She was like, oh, it looks really good. She was like, oh, I'll have to have a closer look when I see you next, to see if I want to place an order. So yeah, I may be making another one for her in the not too distant future if she decides she wants one. But yeah, as I have said previously, she's my mum. She can have whatever she likes within reason. But yeah, that is the making backpack. Super pleased with it, and yeah, definitely feeling the bag making next day. I'm still relatively new to it. I've only made a couple, but yeah, I do really enjoy it as a process. The next two things I have to share are both like almost finished. It's kind of funny. I think I envisaged that I would have time to probably finish at least one of these, and then yesterday turned out to be a bit chaotic because I was trying to log on for work and something was up with my log in and I couldn't access things, so I had to, you know, do the whole getting in touch with our IT department to help me out. So yeah, that kind of just, yeah, meant that I had to stay on a little bit longer to sort out some things, because it took a while for them to fix my access. So yeah, but hopefully by the time that I upload this video I will have finished, so I will again like include some like finished photos of me wearing them as well. So the first thing is a t-shirt. I showed a bunch of jersey fabrics last week that I had bought from Lamazi, and what I was thinking of making there with them. So I've got one made already, like I say, almost finished. I just need to sew down the hem, and the only reason it's not done is because I needed to change the thread on my machine, because I had been sewing in navy blue, and yeah, this needs a different colour thread. So this is the Jeanne T-shirt in this amazing floral tropical print. So you can see we've got peacock down there, and yeah, all these flowers. I'll show you the back as well. Yeah, really amazing print. So yeah, this is the Jeanne T-shirt from Ready to Sew, which again is another of my tried and tested go-to jersey patterns for like a base. This is my like basic t-shirt pattern. Again, I didn't really plan the cutting out of this, although again I only had 1 meter of the fabric, so you don't have too much leeway on that front. But I feel like there's maybe the ever so slight flower boob on this side, but I haven't tried this on yet. But I don't think it matters for me, because as previously discussed, I don't really have any boobs, so I don't think having a flower on one has the same effect if you don't really have anything there to highlight in the first place. So but we will see. You know, I might share you a photo of this finished and worn, and it is very weird, but I don't think it will be, personally. I think there's enough going on with it being such a busy print that it won't matter. I think if it was more sparse, there was more plain colour background, and then you just have these big flowers, then I think that would look weird if it was in the wrong place. But I think this will be fine. But yeah, literally all I need to do is hem it properly. I've pinned it, I just need to sew it. So that is that t-shirt. And then the other thing, this is going to be really hard to show you sitting down, but again, I will finish it off properly and put in photos of it being worn so you can see it properly. So I finished the Quincy dress, almost. All I need to do is sew on the buttons. I've done the buttonholes, but I have not sewn on the buttons. And there's only 4, so it really shouldn't take me that long. But so yeah, this is the Quincy dress. It's a shirt, kind of the top shirt style dress, and then you have this casing that you put in for a drawstring. So I've just got some cotton cord in there, and then the cool detail is you've got these fun pockets that go into like the side panel of the dress. I don't know if you can tell there. Again, I will put in photos that show all of the details of this much better than I can by holding it up and talking to you. But yeah, I'm really pleased with this. Like, I feel like I'm like, why didn't I not make something with this fabric sooner? Like, I think it's going to be really nice. And yeah, with tights and boots, it's going to be fine to wear in the autumn. I kind of want to make another one of these like straight away. Like, it's a really nice pattern. So this is the Quincy dress by Jennifer Lauren Handmade, and yeah, it would have been quicker to sew than it turned out to be, because I had a bit of an incident. So this fabric, so it's cotton lawn. It is quite a thin cotton lawn, but there is a difference between the wrong and the right side, but it's very subtle. And when I was sewing it, it was over the weekend when it was quite grey and dingy weather-wise, and I think that hampered my ability to like easily see what I was doing. But the construction of this, the yoke and everything is really nice. Like, it's burritoed, but with some like extra stuff that means that, you know, it's all really nicely finished, and I was so proud. Like, even though there was a little bit where I was a bit confused when you're doing like the shoulder parts, I was like, is this right? It's very much a trust the process and the instructions, and it will magically all work out in the end. And literally I was like so proud. I was like, oh my god, this, I'd forgotten how nicely this finished off. This is amazing. And then I opened it up and laid it all down in front of me, and I realised that this back panel, so you've got a yoke here, and then you've got this back panel. The back panel was the wrong way around, so the wrong side of the fabric was out, and a considerable amount of swear words were uttered, sort of thing that would get me cancelled from being on the sewing bee if I was ever on it, because yeah, I had done an awful lot of nice, neat, lovely sewing, and was confronted with how on earth am I going to fix this. So I had sewn like the entire bodice. I'd also sewn the side seams and overlocked them as well. So what I ended up having to do was unpick that overlocking, unpick the side seams, and then essentially what I did, because if you've got the layer, you've got the two yokes, the inner one and the outer one, that sandwich the back piece, like in the majority of like shirts that have a yoke. So I ended up having to unpick that seam and then flip my back piece around, and then very carefully, like using, I was obviously quite handy. Well, if this had been viscose, it would have probably had to go in the bin, because it would have just frayed like so badly and yeah, not been fixable. But because it was cotton, I could use the fold line of where I'd like pressed the yoke seams to know where to put my back panel back in again once I'd flipped it around, because I had trimmed the seams. They weren't the same seam allowance as they had been before. Yeah, it was a time, but you would not know that now. But yeah, at the time I was like, oh my god, have I just ruined this completely? And like I say, this fabric, I actually had a look at the Sew Over It website when I was trying to like link stuff, when I was talking about this project before, and they do seem to be doing some sort of, I don't know if it's print on demand, or if they get enough people interested, like using some of their previous prints. And I did see this pattern, this print on there, so it might be the case that fabric in this print will be available again at some point. But yeah, when I was doing this, I was like, if I ruin this, that's this fabric gone basically. But yes, I managed to salvage it, and I was very proud of myself. But there was a moment when I was not a happy bunny. But yeah, I am very happy with this, and like I say, like I am really tempted to just make another one, because it is a nice pattern, and yeah, I think it's versatile enough that you can wear it, in the warmer months, but also wear it with tights in the cooler months. It's not one way or the other in terms of like spring, summer. But yeah, super happy with this. But yeah, it just needs it needs its buttons sewing, and then it will be finished. So yeah, I will share some pictures of it fully finished and being worn once I have that ready for this video to go up. Okay, so thinking about more plans. So the jersey fabrics that I showed last week, the burgundy peony print fabric and the navy blue stripe fabric, I have cut both of those out now. So the peony fabric is going to be a gable top, and I was able to, the fabric requirements said 1.5 meters, but I managed to get it out of one by, not following the instructions in terms of the cutting layout, but probably helped by the fact that that's a non-directional print, so it didn't matter, because I cut the full, like it's quite a long top, and I wanted to have the long sleeves, and yeah, I was able to do that. But yeah, I don't think I would have been able to if I had a properly directional print. But yeah, so that's cut out of that fabric. And then the navy stripe I've cut out last night. I cut out the plantain tee by Deer and Doe. I'd forgotten when I opened up the packet, the folder that I've got the pattern pieces in, that I made a bit of a modification to it. So I think I modified it back in the time when I had an older machine and I didn't have an overlocker, and I was having trouble with my machine zigzag stitching, and I wanted a different way of like finishing off the sleeves and the hem, that didn't need me to like top stitch zigzags, because I was having so much trouble with my old machine skipping stitches. So I had actually drafted a cuff band, like just a thin one, you know, a similar thickness to the neckband, and also a hemband as well. So I've cut that out as well. But yeah, I'd forgotten I did that. I haven't made a plantain in a while. I've been mostly making a couple of my other tried and tested jersey patterns when I've had jersey fabric. So yeah, I'd forgotten that I'd done that. But yeah, both of those are cut out and waiting for me to get cracking. Yeah, I will probably cut out some more things over the next couple of days. Tomorrow night is knit night, so I have a Zoom call with my knitting group on a Wednesday evening, and we had a little break over the summer because obviously everyone was here, there and everywhere. But yeah, we're back in business, so tonight is knit night. But yeah, then I've still got a couple of evenings this week, which I will probably get some more things cut out, because I like having, you know, a batch of things cut out ready and waiting to do the sewing part, because I don't enjoy cutting things out particularly. I'm not, if you do, well done. But yeah, to me it's the least fun bit. And so yeah, I'll probably cut a few more things out, but I haven't decided what I'm going to start with. Alright, that's all of the creative sewing stuff that I have to share this week. In terms of other stuff, so I feel like now is like the busy time. I feel like summer for me is quite a chill time, and then everything kind of starts back up again in September. So so obviously I mentioned going to the football with my new football bag. So that's this weekend. Next weekend the Women's Super League starts, and I have a season ticket for that, so the first game of that is next weekend. I also go to a life drawing class locally that runs every fortnight, and again that's had a little summer holiday whilst people were, you know, less available, but that's starting back next week. So yeah, there's stuff happening, and yeah, just more things in my diary, which is nice. But yeah, it takes a bit of getting used to when you've been sort of a little bit yeah, just chilling and not doing too much. Yeah, lots of stuff to get into, and hopefully I'll be able to share it on this video. Like maybe put some like pictures at the end, just in case anyone's interested, that people can skip if they're not interested. But yeah, there'll be something different to add in, you know, as this is my channel, just to show you what I get up to that maybe other people haven't shared, that sort of thing. But yeah, lots of things starting to happen. Okay, that's all I have to share this week. It's a bit of a quick one, but I have been productive, and you know, as I've got a couple of jersey projects, they don't take very long, so I'm sure I will have those finished by next week, even though I'm going to be out most of the day on Sunday. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will put some links here for you to subscribe if you would like to, and please do leave a like. I am you know, just in the infancy of learning how YouTube works in terms of the algorithm and how you can get your channel out to a wider audience, but apparently that helps. So yeah, please feel free to do that. Yeah, and if anyone has any questions about any of the stuff that I've made, or you want to talk about your plans for the week, please do let me know in the comments. All right, thanks everyone. I will speak to you again soon. Bye now.